Today, I'm taking inspiration from a recent trip as we color this Moroccan doorway with its hanging lanterns and curious little kitty cat. So stick around. Hello, colorists. Welcome to Pencil Stash, a weekly show all about coloring. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to get all the new content, and be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying my videos. Hey there, colorists. I just got back from vacation, and I thought it would be fun to gather up some supplies and do this page, this Moroccan-inspired doorway from Romantic Country's Third Tale. Now, with lanterns or any other light source on a page, like a physical light source, I like to address that first and kind of put in my placeholder lighting. And that's because in the past, I've actually forgotten to do that, only to find that I kind of lost the opportunity to do so. It doesn't look good when clearly lit lanterns aren't casting any light. So always a really fun opportunity to have some fun with those. So I like to put down a little bit of Prismacolor's Deco Yellow with very light pressure around the light itself, but also on anything that light might be casting onto, like the edge of these bricks here. And that's really it for now. I'll kind of, add in a little bit more yellows and some dimension here, but for the most part, I'm just going to come back to this later. Now, truth be told, I have not taken the time to plan out a color palette on this page as I normally like to do. This was more of a seat of my pants approach. Now, I know I want to have this page kind of have like an overall golden hue to it, so I'm going to start on the walls of the building and begin to lay down a few layers of cream, yellows, and even some oranges, and then finally a few browns to scuff it up around the edges. And don't forget to put some shadows behind your pots where they would cast on the back of this wall too. It helps to make this place feel more real, feel more three-dimensional. Now for the door itself, which is the main focal point, I wanted something colorful that would kind of remind me of Moroccan tiles or doors. So I went to my handy dandy Pinterest app, went to the search bar, and I tried to find some inspiration. And I ultimately found this photo, which has some very beautiful teal blues and pumpkin oranges, all grounded with light cream. And I had a few different options, a few different inspiration photos, but this one seemed to be speaking to me. So I've pulled a bunch of colors that might work well for this palette. And our door is clearly different from this one, so we will have to make some color placement choices. So I thought the background of these panels would be that good neutral base, so these are going to be done in that cream color. And then I'll just build upon that with all the detail work, with kind of the little ribbons and the insets being in my orange palette. And then the main framework of the door and its surround being in my teal color palette. And I also thought that it would be fun to give the door a bit of texture, but I didn't want to give it wood grain. I thought that might be too busy with what's going on with the rest of the page. So I'm just adding in some diagonal hatched lines to just give it a little bit of visual interest. And you'll see that as I progress through this page, I continue to tweak these colors, especially the oranges, because for some reason it never looked quite right. I kind of wanted it to end up with more of a rust color, so I have to keep playing with it until I get it just right. And because I used light pressure throughout the process, it's kind of easy to layer on additional colors. Now we'll move on to the brick surround of our door, utilizing a base of the same golden colors that I used on the walls, but adding in some additional browns, as I wanted them to be an extension of the same material as the building walls, but still distinct, still special. And don't forget too, to concentrate your darker colors at these crevice points where the bricks meet. Kind of adds that illusion of a cast shadow. And again, it really sells that they're three-dimensional. And back to tweaking the oranges on the door here, I think a bit of maybe Tuscan red will help me achieve that rust color that I was hoping for. And to balance out our rusty orange colors elsewhere on the page, I'm going to use those same colors on our plant pots. But for these branches, I'd like to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take my jade green color and just place a bit of this down randomly on each leaf, leaving about half of it as white space. And again, just random locations on each leaf, try to be, very, very random. Then I'm going to go back in with that Tuscan red color to fill in the rest of the space on each leaf. And now these two colors are not your typical kind of go-to color combo, but I'm hopeful that this will look good and maybe add a little bit more visual interest to our golden color palette. Who knows? I'm totally winging this. I actually really, really like this, especially after I blend the two together. It just creates a really, really interesting color. And I've been putting off tackling these kind of flowing, flowering vines at the top here because I have no clue what I'm going to do with them. No clue. But it's time to make a decision. And I don't want to use like a typical green. I think that would kind of throw off the rest of my color palette here. And I also don't want to use the golden autumnal colors that I've been using thus far, just because I think that they would get a little bit lost on the page. So we're going to experiment once again, putting down some of that same jade green color as before. And then we'll try adding in some teal blues, but I don't really like that either. So let's go over this. Let's grab at least a slightly bluish green from our pencil stash and see what we can do. Okay, no turning back now. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. This will have to do, but I think it'll be okay. Now for the areas around our lantern where we had put in that initial placeholder yellow as our cast light, I want to give the appearance that these are the same leaves as the others. They're just affected by this yellow lighting. So I'm only going to place down a very light layer of the jade green over top of the yellow. And start really light here. You can always add more if you want it just to be a little bit deeper, but I think I really like the way that the yellow light is cast on these leaves. And finally, onto the golden lanterns that inspired this color palette. Now, when I do gold, I like to layer a few colors together to achieve a realistic gold color that looks just a bit tarnished. And I layer those until I'm happy. And now some of my favorite kind of go-to colors are Crayola's Harvest Gold. I like Prismacolor's Bronze. I do like the Prismacolor Metallic Gold, but I use it kind of sparingly at the edges. For this one, this is what I use to kind of give it that little bit of tarnished look, and not like bright like jewelry gold. And you know what? I might as well make the birds on the door gold too. I'd been keeping them white just for the time being because I didn't really know what I was going to do with them yet, but I think I'll make them gold. Now we'll do this bookcase in kind of a subtle wood grain pattern. Again, I don't want it too busy, so I'm just kind of using light pressure here just to give it a little bit of texture. And then on the one behind it, we'll do browns as well. However, I'm going to throw in just a hint of orange to make it look just a little bit different from the one that we just conquered with our wood grain pattern. And of course, we have to make our little kitty an orange tabby. His colors will balance out very nicely with the rest of our page. And finally, we'll do the cobblestone ground. And what I like to do here is what I call my bad camo layering effect, where I take a bunch of different colors and I just kind of randomly place them down on the cobblestones and the area in between until what you get looks like just really bad digital camo fatigues. But don't turn off the video yet. I promise it'll look good when it's finished. This is a process. But first, I'm going to add in some additional shadows. Here, kind of against the walls, as well as underneath our tabby cat. And next, I'm going to line the bottom and left edge of each of these stone pavers with a dark French gray. Now, the French grays have a bit of a brown tint to them, so this will work perfectly. And I'm doing this because it's going to give the illusion that these stones have some weight and some shape to them. Otherwise, they would look really flat, really just kind of lifeless. And then you take your magic colorless blending pencil or some baby oil and you blend all of these together. And ultimately, you get a really nice, natural, and cohesive cobblestone look. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't done anything with the flowers up here yet. They're still as white as can be. And I'm a bit afraid to color them. Again, I just don't quite know what color I want them to be. I just haven't come up with a solution yet. But I think I think it might do maybe to add in some dots with my gold chalk marker. It just kind of won't be that stark white with all of our other warmer tones. It'll give them a little bit of love without adding too much color. We'll see how that goes. Alrighty, she is done. Now I'm going to go spray this page with my matte fixative to keep all the colors here on my page where they belong and off of the adjacent page when I close the book. And in the meantime, you guys can take a look. Here she is, all done. Thank you so much for watching my channel, everyone. Your support means the world to me. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. I have a ton more coloring tutorials on my channel, many in real time, most for very, very beginning colorists, so be sure to check those out for more goodies. Everyone have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!